Hello and welcome. It's The Chat. My name is Manny. My guest on the program is a woman after my heart. After nearly 56 years of illustrious career practice, she still stands amongst her peers, tall and even with the men shoulder to shoulder. They refer to her as the Margaret Thatcher of the legal profession.
Hairat Balogun ni Alatishe is a legal luminary, author, former Attorney General of Lagos State, and one of Nigeria's foremost female lawyers who has made remarkable inroads in the legal profession. Her life's journey started as a cherished daughter of the Balogun of Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, where she was brought up by her grandmother, a wealthy textile trader. She later moved to the UK to further her education at the Mount School, Mill Hill, England, from October 1955 to January 1960, before proceeding to study law by enrolling as a member of the Honorable Society of Lincoln's Inn. At a young age of 21, she was eventually called to the English bar on the 5th of February 1963, after which she returned to Nigeria in March of the same year to commence the Nigerian Law School. Upon being called to the Nigerian bar, Hairat worked in the chamber of Chief Chris Ogumbanjo and Co. for 4 years, after which she left the company to set up her own practice, Liberal Law Office in Lagos, where she is a senior partner. With a distinguished career spanning well over 55 years, this law veteran spent 2 years serving Africa as the OAU observer to the Lockerbie trials in the Scottish Court at Camp Zeist, Netherlands, and the Scottish Courts in Edinburgh. She also served as a pioneer staff of the Anti-Corruption Commission, serving Lagos State as the first female Attorney General in 1984, the first Secretary General of the Nigerian Bar Association, first female member of the International Bar Association, and between 1988 to 1989, she served as the first female life bencher and chairperson of the Body of Benchers in Nigeria. And contributing to the Body of Knowledge, Hairat has also authored 2 books, including a national research book titled Women in the Law and a chronicle of her law memoirs, To Serve in Truth and Justice. She is a widow with 2 surviving children.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Manny.
You're looking good.
And I love the reference to Margaret Thatcher. In fact, she was a great lawyer as well.
Yes.
She happened to have been a member of the same Inns of Court where I graduated.
I was going to ask you about the Lincoln's Inn. What's a typical graduation like? You know,
it's
on
similar
a day like
to what
that?
we have here, because we try to continue the regime to emulate former trainers, I would call them. Everybody is arranged in the hall, and you go up to the table of the benchers one by one. You are called and have a handshake and get your certificate and back to your place.
You have been in this legal profession for 56 years. And you're in your 70s. I mean, literally all your life, you're putting in the legal practice. How does that make you feel?
I love it. It's my life. I mean, if you've done something for 56 years, for some people, it's a lifetime.
I mean, you're in your 70s, if
I want to say I'm in my 80s. I'm going to 80.
You're going to be 80. But, 56 years.
I am 77 years old. That's a sunset trip to the next set of ages. Who knows? I'll get there. But
oh yeah,
that is what I enjoy doing. I like to do. And I'm fine. I feel comfortable.
Do you feel rewarded for having put in that many years in the career? What sense of fulfillment do you seem to
I
get?
feel completely fulfilled. I'm not talking about the economic fulfillment, because I believe the law is a service profession. And
Well, a lot of people would say that, I mean, if you are not a senior advocate of Nigeria, you have not reached the apex of your career in law.
I think it depends on what is universally considered as apex. Would you say a man who is the Chief Justice of Nigeria and was never a senior advocate had not reached his apex?
So it's inconceivable, let's be honest, to put in 56 years.
Let me add some more information. If I am on the body that confirms appointment of SAN, what am I? I am above it. You see what I mean?
Is that how you feel about
yes,
not being, an SAN after 56 years?
I am completely fulfilled. I think it's a matter of title. You have to apply for it. It's not that somebody looks at you, looks at your credentials and your hard work and says, this one, let us confer. You have to apply and say, I think I'm worthy of getting this title. I don't have to do that.
So why didn't you apply at all?
Because I believe truly there is nobody there who can judge me. You have to be better than the person you are judging.
What gives you all the guts?
Well, I think it's the confidence that you have from knowing that you are doing the right things by everybody, and you are not compromising on your ethics.
What sort of background did you grow up?
Well, my parents, fortunately, I always cut it short and say I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. But I am aware that throughout that time till now, I've tried to change it into a platinum spoon.
Oh.
Yes, and that's the confidence.
How did you
make
do that?
It better.
Do you have children who are,
yes,
lawyers?
I have two boys. One of them is a lawyer. The other is a businessman. We had three originally, but the third one passed on when she was 30 years, and she was an accountant. So it's not...
Would you have wished they were all lawyers?
No, I think parents should encourage children to distinguish themselves in a career in which they are interested.
But that wasn't the case when your growing up days. I'm sure you remember. You would agree with me that your parents would have wished that you went to study law, and that's why they sent you there.
No, my parents never wanted me to do law. On the contrary, my parents, with prompting from my grandmother, wanted me to be a teacher. Everything changed. I came home for holidays and I saw a lawyer, finely dressed, black and white, spick and span, and looking so distinguished. Came to the family house, saying, oh, I can't stay longer, I'm going to the courts. I said, can I go with you? I want to see what they do in court. So I went, and they were disposing of cases so fast. I said, oh, this is a nice work. You can get results so fast. I think I'd like to do this.
Would you take on somebody who has spent 30 years without trial? Would you take on a case like that?
I would. Why not?
Have you?
Even nobody has come to me, I would do it. Why not? He has a right to ensure that he gets prompt trial. So I would do whatever is in my position to make sure the trial comes on. Find out what is the reason first that a man can stay in prison for 30 years. I hope to God that we don't have such record.
I wonder what was going through your mind when somebody like the former CJN was being brought, charged for, setting offenses bordering on declaration of assets.
Well, there you are. That kind of trial, for me, was a disgrace of everybody, of the whole system, of governance.
Not the legal profession?
Of everybody. Because
Why are you dragging everybody?
I say everybody because the rule of law was on trial. It was like a country that did not respect the rule of law. Everything has its place. The legislators sign the laws, don't they? And we are supposed to live by those laws. And yet the government itself could not live by it. That's why it's a disgrace for everybody. Not just the legal profession alone. Whatever the law is on any specific matter, it must be a system that follows that law, not your own inclination. You are to point everybody in the direction, not just your own inclination. You know, I hear they say, oh, they give kudos to chief judges and yes, they go to prison, they release one or two people, they've been in prison for too long, give me the records and awaiting trial. You don't have a case. I'm going to discharge this one. It's good. I went to prison just to look, and I saw two people sitting down, looking most prisoner-like, Thompson and Rabo or something. And I look at them and I say, what? I don't know you, but what are you doing here? Who are you? What do you do? So we are journalists. We publish something, then, you know, the Buhari administration at that time had passed Decree 4 or something. So they just collected us from Guardian and locked us up. And you are here. You haven't been to court? No. You are here. How many months have you been here? Don't worry about it. As soon as I got to the office, I told the governor, I said, do you know people who could be helping your cause are just sitting in prison doing nothing? Nothing. No library, nothing. Nothing for them to do. They just sit all day like this. What are we going to do about it? What can I do about it? I said, release them. I can do that. Yes, you can.
On the military government?
I wrote the letter. I said, send it to the prison. They are hereby order release of
So you signed the release of
yes, the governor signed it, but
Nduka Rabo and Tunde Thompson.
Yes. I think Thompson is still alive also.
Yeah, both of them are.
Yeah, ask him. You can ask him. Well, what happened? How did they get out?
I know that you're one of those who strongly opposes the sort of a quality of lawyers that we turn out from the Nigerian law school. You think that the standard is very low. The standard of students coming out of the law school is very low. And you're a life bencher, which means you always often are seen to be participating in reforms within the legal profession.
We do.
How come it still, remains the same?
It's the material. Honestly, you have to be fair to law teachers. It is the material that goes for training. It is faulty. You will agree with me that a school set holder of those days is probably like a degree holder now, with the kind of teaching and training that is given to them at that time.
So who are you pointing fingers at now?
Wait now, the teachers were serious. The people going to school, they're eager to learn. Not every single one of them, but most of them, they're eager to learn. We should be able to decipher people who can actually make this training. I have some people, they come to me, they want me to sign their form that they're fit and qualified to be called to the bar as a bencher. I'm obliged to sign. But when I speak to them, I'm shocked.
Have you ever declined anyone?
Oh yes, several times. I'm shocked. We should not. Why does everybody have to be a lawyer? I've been saying it all the time. Before you are admitted to the law school, which is the last, after you've taken your degree, you got your paper, you must have viva voce. You must have interview. You must interview. this person who wants to be a lawyer. Didn't you read in the papers they're saying something 43% failure or something? What is that? It's not acceptable. So I
pick a question then.
Are you sure they're not all the same?
I couldn't tell you that.
This is number 4.
Okay.
What are your expectations of the next administration's cabinet looking at women inclusion in governance? Well, it's an easy question. What is on the table is that they should have 35%. Is it 35% or 40%? But really, I think one cannot expect any less. If it's my personal expectation, I don't see why we cannot find capable women to make it half and half.
50%?
Yeah.
You might as well ask for female presidents then.
If they're elected, why not?
Do you see that happening in Nigeria?
In my lifetime, I'm not sure.
Why?
Because the conditions of candidature are too tough on women. Very few women have that economic profile to pay for the forms, to galvanize supporters. And we know that even the men who do it, who can afford, they are indebted. Women don't like owing.
I'm hearing this for the first
Yes,
time.
women do not like owing. Maybe because women owe on Ashwebi, that's all right, that's simple matter. But generally, no woman likes to owe because it's painful when the creditor comes to demand. They feel really disgraced. But men, they will take, beg, steal, borrow, make the money to satisfy whatever condition they're supposed to satisfy, and satisfy the kingmakers and so on. Then when they get there, they will start cheating, cutting cross corners, and to make up, to be able to pay back. Women don't do that. The average woman is compassionate. They want to help their fellow men and women.
So I was talking to you earlier on, before we came on the screen, about fitness, and you talked about food.
Yes.
You eat salad, isn't it? Just
yes.
Salad, only
yes,
salad.
Mostly.
And you have not eaten gari or eba for 40, how many years?
For at least 40 years.
For 40 years.
I ate a lot of those things when I was at home with my parents.
So you could conveniently live outside Nigeria.
Oh, I can live anywhere. I've eaten seaweed, and also anywhere I go, I eat what they provide there.
I'm just thinking, who might be a lawyer of notes that you really admire in this country?
I'm happy that I was alive during the time of Chief Rotimi Williams, and my original teacher, Chris Ogumbanjo. I'm very happy that I served with him for over 4 years. And, sometimes when he comments me, I say, "You taught us that, Chief." Then he would just laugh and, move on. There was a lady I admired very much, to the point of taking her like my adopted mother, Aduke Alakija. She too has passed on. But there are lots of people that, I think that's the way it is normally.
Once there was a female Chief Justice of Nigeria. How did you feel at the appointment then?
Oh, I was very happy. I think one of the interviews I gave in office was, they're asking me, how do you feel, Attorney General, woman? I said, I'm only second in Nigeria. First in Lagos State, but second in Nigeria. I said, but I hope one day we'll have a woman Chief Justice. So it came to pass. It's a plus for women, and also to show that we women are just as capable as the men. We studied the same law. We're brought up the same way, so why can't one perform the service?
So our Democracy Day now is June the 12th.
Yes. Yes.
So what are your thoughts?
Well, they can, it's good. It's good that they finally are seeing the light. But I think they should see it even further, not just to the date. What is democracy? Democracy must be fair.
Some people in Nigeria describe it as government for some people by some people.
Well, they can. But really, I don't even mind that that definition. As
Really?
long as it's good governance. We can't all do it. Some people must do it while the rest of us are being governed. But let us have a government. If democracy is a government whereby everybody, basic needs of people are met. We're not governing for the elites. When I first came here as a professional, you could go to any hospital, government hospital, you will get treatment, you will get some medicine to take home. But now, you can't get anything. If you have a serious operation, I hear you have to take your own water. So you might as well pray for money to go to a private hospital.
Basically, you're required to take 5 most important things that will keep you company while you're away.
The first one will be my music.
You love music a
I
lot.
love music.
You said to me that normally when you wake up,
even when I'm in public, when I wake up, first thing is to put on my music. But when I'm in the public,
any particular kind of music?
Oh, all sorts of music. I love music generally. Right now, I think I'm still crazy on Cuban music. After I went to Cuba, I got so many CDs. And
wow. And Cubans dance a lot too.
They do.
So are you a good dancer?
Jazz. No, I wouldn't say so. I would say dancer after a while. You know, I would take a few books. Yeah, one book only. Since it's
it's up to you. I mean,
since it's 5 items.
Have you read all of those?
No, because they're reference books.
Okay.
So if you have a case that is connected, then you pick it up. I will take something.
So you got music, books.
There's something that I can do with my hands, like a needle and thread and some cloth, because I used to sew a lot when I was much younger. So I wouldn't necessarily make anything, but maybe just have something at hand in case my dress, I get stuck on the thorns or something, then I can mend it. And what else? Oh, I must take some fruits. Or would that be supplied regularly?
You take some fruits along with you.
Yes.
Okay.
And plenty of water.
And plenty of water.
Plenty of water.
Okay. What worries you most about life?
I think it's the hostile attitude of people to each other. Even people that you don't know. Right now, I feel as if I'm in a foreign country because people are always fighting about something or the other.
Do you still feel British?
No, I've never felt British after I left secondary school. I was there for my whole secondary school. After I left and I started professional studies, I assumed my Nigerianness. And take it or leave it, you can't find a more committed Nigerian than I. We have the same level, but not more.
Truly Nigerian. 100% Nigerian.
Truly, with all the words, it's my country. When people are arguing, this country, I say, yes, sir. Me too, this country. But I am the most aware that I have no other. We just have to just hold it. You can't run away from it.
Those are very, very encouraging thoughts.
You can't run away from it.
I've enjoyed my moment with you, Hairat Balogun, OOM. Thank you for being on the program.
Thank you for having me.
See you next time. It's been Hairat Balogun, my guest this week on the program, The Chat. I am Manny. See you next time. The Chat is produced by Channels Television. You can watch it again online. Just visit our social media platforms: Twitter, YouTube, Facebook.